to day 9 video, and today's video is all about hard work. Now, because the mind just really struggles with the idea of magic, or the idea of things just being able to happen without the mind understanding, controlling influence. It's always trying to work out, okay, well, what does that mean then? What do I do? What's going to happen? Because that's how it's been trained. That's like our conditioning, very linear. And then all of a sudden, this incredibly non-linear world starts to become visible, and that throws the linearity. And eventually we might come to see that, in fact, linearity is just another appearance within this vast garden of what's possible. Because to start with, it's almost rather like linearity becomes the enemy and something we need to get rid of. And it's not. It's just another, it'd be like a group of colours in a rainbow sort of ganging up and going, yeah, but we don't want that sort of orangey colour in the rainbow. So need to get rid of that. Then we'll be a purer rainbow. And it's like, no, magic is the richness of everything. So linearity can have its place just as much as things that seem to appear from absolutely nowhere whatsoever. There's no rules. That's the point about the mind's obsessed with rules. Then it knows what to fit in, what to judge as good and bad, what's right and wrong, and it's got a sense of how to handle it. And magic just burns all that. Or rather, not even it burns it, actually. It encompasses it to such a degree that it's sort of neutralised. It's like, it's no big deal. So the title of today's video was Hard Work, because one of the things that the mind can do is go, oh, okay, so everything's fine, everything's going to happen, magic's at work, I can do nothing. And so it opts for this do nothing idea. It tries to objectify what's being spoken about here into an action. And it says, yes, I can do nothing. I could just sit around all day and never talk to anybody, or never make a video, or never write a post, or never create a product, or never do a launch, or never whatever it would be. It says, yeah, you don't need to do that, and it's like, no, it's not quite like that. So magic is just so eminently practical. It's what's created this entire project from nothing, from nowhere. But there's still action that needs to take place. There's making videos, titles appearing, setting up some kind of email distribution system to write to people, people writing back, responding, interacting. All of that's happening. And so without, and sometimes hard work could be far more of that. It could be months of hard work. It could be years of hard work. It doesn't mean it isn't magical at all. I mean, you can thrive on a project for years, and then build a business or whatever, and then decide to sell it, and that can still be magical. Magical is much more about the essence of what's happening. It's like a limitless energy, limitless potential. So will it mean you'll never have to work hard again? No, of course not. Of course it doesn't mean that. That would be like trying to linearize something that's non-linear. You can't do it. Like it might be darn hard work. It might bring you up against all sorts of uncertainties and insecurity or anxiety, or who am I to put out this video? What do I know about magic? Why would anybody listen? All of that, like normal stuff. All of that comes up. So it isn't a cure. It isn't like a numbing or an antidote to the pure thrill of living. In all of its sort of multitude of colours and experience. It's not that at all. but it can seem like that. It can sound like that. It can, when it's heard in a linear way. So one of the questions that came up quite early on from somebody was well, how does this fit into? And I think it was like the 3 Ps or non-duality or whatever. How does this fit into? And so the mind is always trying to do that because it's been trained in linearity. So it's always trying to go. So how do I fit that into my sequence of my 3 principles understanding or my non-dual understanding? Like, oh, hang on, this seems to conflict. What? So should I agree with it, disagree with it? And yet there's that curiosity around it. So this isn't trying to make a garden that only has trees in it. This is trying to point out like just how much stuff is in the garden, the majority of which can be missed if you're always obsessing about trees. I love trees, but you get the point. So absolutely there can be hard work, absolutely there can be uncertainty, absolutely there can be thrill, confusion, anxiety, all of it. Like, absolutely, of course. Why wouldn't any of that happen? Why not? That is the magic. And the magic is the deliverance of that. The opportunity to do that, to share that, to fall flat on your face, for no one to watch, for no one to comment, for people to go, yeah, I'd love to see it and never ever look at it. All of that is really quite magical. And when we start to see that, some of the things we talked about in previous videos, like when nothing's coming up. Remember we talked about that a couple of days ago? That becomes quite magical. The shifts in our language to using language that really supports how we want things to be, that becomes quite magical. Just going back over my notes here. Watching old habits start to disintegrate, that becomes quite magical. Learning to take one step at a time, again, becomes quite magical. And then going forward, seeing things that come up that like trip us up or seem to trip us up, that itself becomes quite magical. So, yeah. So our reflection is just to keep an eye out for when we've tried to linearize everything and make it fit a set of rules so that we can have a preference or a decision about it. We're pointing to the undoing of all of that. That's really where we're heading. That's really what's going on. It's the collapse of all of that. So just keep an eye out for when you're trying to fit it into the box, because we only need the box so that we feel safe about stuff. And once it starts to become obvious that we're safe anyway, regardless, then we don't need to dismiss things. Like it's just having an infinite toolkit in every moment of every day, and magic can just present it to you and you can just crack on and keep that North Star and just build whatever you're building. So let me know how you get on with that. I'm really interested to hear your reflections on this one particularly, and I'll see you for day 10 video.